Hey, how you doing? It's Ian. Today's video is for anyone who is either just getting started with freelancing, contracting in a digital agency, providing some sort of advertising services, be it on YouTube, Facebook, native, Snapchat, whatever, to businesses, right? And that's how you're earning money. And you're struggling, meaning you're not able to acquire clients. You're not able to keep clients, or you're just not making any money. Like you're kind of like just seem to be on a hamster wheel. And there's three reasons that this is happening to you, right? A little bit of a spoiler alert. All three reasons have to do directly with you, but there are all solutions to this, right? And it's going to involve, self-development and improving yourself in whatever area is causing you that problem. So I'm going to go through the three of them. And as we go through each one, we'll talk a little bit about what areas of development you should look at improving yourself in. So like, what should you do to help yourself out in that spot, right? So the very first thing that we have to consider here, right, is that you aren't good. I'm not very good at writing on this, but at what you're trying to sell, right? So basically, if you're not good at what you're trying to do, like if you're trying to run Facebook ads and you're kind of trying to run before you've walked, meaning you can't get results and you feel like you're cycling through clients, like you get someone, but then they leave. You get someone and then they leave. There's all kinds, there's no shortage of training programs or courses you can buy for thousands of dollars that will show you how to do stuff, right? How to run Facebook ads, how to do SEO, how to run Google search ads or Bing search ads, right, for clients. But I'm just saying this, and I'll probably get some people that dislike this comment, but it's impossible to get super great at something in like a week or a month. If it was possible, then we'd all just do it, right? Like this is my 12th year in digital marketing, and I'm pretty damn good at it. But I've had so many iterations of what I've done over the last 12 years to get to where I'm at. Starting with coding, getting into SEO, then learning affiliate marketing, and then getting into how media buying works, and then really diving into copywriting, which, hint, that's where the biggest change came for me, was when I started to learn copywriting and reading books and practicing and studying it, right? So if you're not good at what you're doing, then all the other stuff doesn't matter. Acquiring clients, okay, you can acquire clients, but it's going to become a revolving door because you're not getting results. So you just can't continually keep a client if you're not getting them results. So the first thing you have to look at is, are you good at what you're trying to sell? Because if you're good at it, you'll feel confident in it because you've achieved results for other people. If you haven't achieved results, then that needs to be your number one focus. You can't run before you walk. You need to either find people that'll let you do what you want to do at a reduced price or for free even, but you need to learn the ropes. You need to get good at it. I have a whole nother video on how to build an agency around like one or two verticals, and I'll link to this in the description below. But the whole premise of that concept is that you need to get really good at one market and probably one traffic source, if you're running paid ads, or one technique for that market. Do it really well for one client, use that client as a case study, and then scale, right? Go get more of them. So like if we take real estate for an example, if you get really good at getting, seller leads or buyer leads or whatever type of leads off, say, native ads, for instance, Taboola and Outbrain, and you're doing it in Massachusetts, well, there's 49 other states that you should go do that in, right? Or if you're in Canada, there's all kinds of cities, or if you're in wherever you're at, right? So think about that. So you got to get good at what you're doing. That's the first thing. And if you're not, you need to get busy at getting better at what you're doing and finding the resources you need, because they're all out there. It's on YouTube, there's courses, there's books. You got to practice it. You got to do it, right? So that's the first thing. Now, the second reason that you may not be doing well with this, and these are all obvious things, right? I'm going to run out of room here, but is that you can't sell or prospect. Right? If you can't sell or you can't prospect, and let me differentiate those. Selling to me, when I'm in this definition, is when you've got someone on Zoom or face-to-face or on the phone and you're trying to sell them your services. You're trying to sell them a package, a retainer package, a lead package, whatever type of thing you're trying to sell them in exchange for money, right? You just need to close that deal, right? So, and not everybody's good at that right away. Everyone can become good at sales. There's no question about that. I don't believe you're like born a salesperson or not. I was a super shy kid, right? I didn't want to go to like kids' birthday parties. My mom had to like take me into school. I didn't want to be left at the school. You know, I just hated it. I hated groups. And even to this day, I'm not a super fan of like big groups who don't know anybody, but I got really good at sales, and I actually got good at sales in retail. I got a commission retail job when I was 18. I started there. Used to work at Walmart. I remember in high school, I got a job at what the Canadian equivalent of what's Best Buy or Circuit City. It was called Future Shop. And it was 100% commission. And you either had to make it work or didn't make it work. And I figured out how to make it work, and I didn't know I could sell before that. And ever since then, I studied selling. I studied how to get good at it. I studied how to build rapport. I studied how to ask the questions and tie people down to the things they say so that when I go for the close, they may have an objection, but I can refer back to, well, you said that you wanted this, that, and the other thing, right? And selling digital marketing services, like everything else, comes down to figuring out how to sell it really well, which ties back into doing one thing for ideally one type of business so that you learn the objections, you learn how to talk to them, you learn their lingo, you learn the inside discussion that's happening in that business, right? So for instance, we sell a ton of life insurance leads in our agency, and I know the lingo that the life insurance world speaks now. I know how they get paid. I know how they talk about their commissions. I know little things I can throw in, like what's your override? What's the AP on that, which would be, annual premium, or what's your FYO, your first year override, or pardon me, FYC, your first year commission versus your FYO, first year override. When I speak that way, immediately I build faster rapport with individuals. However, not only does that happen, but now I know my service and product so well, no one else can sell against me in this space because I've built up all the pieces. You need to get good at selling it, right? If you are afraid of selling, you don't like talking on the phone, you feel bad or icky about trying to ask people to do things, then I have two things that I want to say. One, this may not be for you, or you should go look at affiliate marketing or something else where you don't have to sell your services to someone. Or two, find someone you can partner with that is good at sales. There are a lot of people out there that are fantastic salespeople that are not minded for the technical side of it, right? To set up Facebook ads, to set up YouTube ads, to do SEO, to do GMB optimization, email marketing, whatever you're going to do, right? Partner with somebody, scale it that way. Now, the other side of this is prospecting, right? Maybe you're a crappy prospector, meaning you just don't know what to say to people to open up a conversation. So what can we do to prospect? Well, we can cold email, we can cold call, we can use LinkedIn and connect with people, use Facebook and connect with people. We can ask for referrals and see who knows who, right? There are all kinds of ways to prospect, right? Direct mail was a huge one that we've done in our agency, sending lumpy mail letters out, buying a list of businesses when we're scaling in one vertical and sending a lumpy mail letter out and then getting them to come to a landing page and then, showing them a video and then booking a call that way or getting an inbound call so we can sell them, right? So that's the second reason that you wouldn't be doing well. If you're good at what you do, right, and you're still struggling, then you can't sell it, right? Or you can't open up the conversations even though you try. Right now, the third thing, and this one takes some looking in the mirror, and we've all been here. I've been here many times and I have to look in the mirror, is you're not trying hard enough, right? And I don't expect anyone to be able to read this stuff behind me. I just like to write out so I remind myself when I'm looking at the camera here, but there is a huge proportion of us that are digital marketers that think that this is way easier than it actually is. And it's actually hard, right? All the courses, all the books, everything makes it seem like it's a walk in the park. You're going to buy this, you're going to build a $100,000 business, you're going to ride off into the sunset drinking margaritas and reading on the beach in a lawn chair, right? A lounger rather, not a lawn chair. And that's not how it works, right? How it works is you're actually building a business. You're actually learning mastery over a service you're going to provide. You're actually selling that service to someone else. And the money that's exchanged to you is for the value of what you're giving them, which is why you got to be good at what you're doing, right? If you're not good at what you're doing, you got to start there because you're ripping people off, right? Because you're not giving them value for their money. So of course they're not going to hang around. And that's the problem with number one. You end up with a revolving door. People come in, because maybe you're really good at selling, but you're crappy at results getting for actually producing digital marketing results. So what ends up happening is you bring lots in, but you get this revolving door. Then it becomes confidence crushing for you, right? Because then it's hard to be the good closer in the sales side of things if you know you're not getting results. Now, if you're just not doing enough, well, in some ways, that's the easiest one of all, unless you hit these other roadblocks here, but you don't even know if you'll hit number one or number two, not good at providing the service or not good at prospecting or selling if you're not doing enough. So what's doing enough? Well, I can't tell you exactly what it is. It's going to revolve around what your goals are, right? But let's say you're starting from zero, right? And you want to get 10 clients and you want each of those clients to pay you $1,000 a month, right? I had something to erase here and I think I left it somewhere else. Anyways, right? So 10 clients at, let's say, 1,000, right? So let's say that you have an estimate that you're going to sell 1 in 4 conversations, right? So that means it's going to take 4 conversations to close a deal. So that means to get your 10, you're going to have 40 conversations, right? That's just a simple aspect of it. However, that's not how it really works, because you're not going to get 10 and keep them forever. It's just the world of any service. There's attrition, there's cancellations you're going to need. So now it's a matter of fact of working your strategy and your plan backwards. Be like, well, how many people do I need to talk to talk to 40 people? And here's the way that I would recommend that you think about this. You should choose one way that you're going to go at really hard every day for like 30 to 60 days to try and create conversations with people. Maybe it's LinkedIn, maybe it's cold email, maybe it's running Facebook ads, Google ads, or YouTube ads for your business. Maybe it's direct mail, maybe it's knocking on doors, probably not right now, depending on where you're at in the world because of the current pandemic we're experiencing. But anyways, pick one and go all in at it and create a plan. Create, like, what are you trying to achieve? So you're trying to get a hold of people so that they'll have a meeting with you. So you need to work that backwards. And this is more for another video on what are you going to say to them? How are you going to do it? Like, what's your pitch going to be? You know, if let's say you're selling YouTube ads, and YouTube ads is a fantastic opportunity to sell right now because lots of businesses are interested. It's like Facebook ads was about 5 years ago. People see YouTube ads and they're actually surprised they can do it themselves. Like, I can actually get my small business on here locally, like a TV ad. Yeah, you can, right? And you actually don't have to pay for it until they view past 30 seconds. And they're like, wow, that's amazing. How do I do that, right? So you start getting asked questions. That's a great offer to be selling people, versus some other things like SEO and Facebook are a little overdue now, so you need a real good hook. You need to package, productize your service. But let's say you're doing that. And let's say you're going to do that for mortgage brokers, right? So, and another tip here, if you're going to use cold email or LinkedIn, it's important to look at different verticals where those people emails are readily available and they look at them, or they're readily on LinkedIn all the time, right? No sense going after people in a particular niche where you know a lot of them aren't active on LinkedIn, right? But you think of something like mortgage brokers where they're networking all the time too. Their emails are readily available on their website and all over the place because that's what they want. They want you to get emailed. They want to be emailed. And they're probably on LinkedIn all the time looking for networks with real estate agents, with whatever it might be, right? So that's really what I would look at, right? I would say that you should build a strategy around how you're going to reach out on one particular method, one particular way, like LinkedIn or whatever you're going to use, or cold email, and go at it hard for 30 or 40 days and don't look at another option until you figure out if that worked, and figure out these numbers. How many people do you need to talk to get an appointment? If you need 4 appointments to get one customer, you probably need to talk to, let's say, 20 or 25 people to get one appointment. I'm guessing this, right? So maybe you need to talk to 100, you need to make 100 connections to get one sale. That's, you close 1% of connections, let's say, 1% of people that engage with you, right? You need to figure out those numbers. And that takes a lot of work. And that's what it really means when I say you're not trying hard enough. You don't know the numbers yet because you haven't given it enough effort yet, and you're expecting it to work with less effort than it actually takes, right? A really good rule of thumb that I found in almost everything I do is everything takes about 10 times the effort that I think it's going to take when I start. So wherever your head's at now, if you're not getting results, take what you think you need to do and 10 times that, and do as close to that level of action as you can. And I can almost guarantee you that unless you're doing the completely wrong thing, you will find results, right? But all of this is a journey, right? It's not push button. It's not It's not like, oh, I just buy this book and I have a business all of a sudden or whatever. It takes work, it takes practice, it takes learning, it takes failing and getting back up and sticking with it. And if you're in it for the long run, then you can become a fantastic marketer, and you can literally almost write your paycheck in many ways when you get good at this stuff and pick a niche that you're going to go after, right? It accidentally happened to me over time, right? It accidentally happened without planning, and now I'm looking back and I can see all the dots I'm connecting. That's why I'm making all these videos, that I can see that where I started and where I'm at now, there was a path all the way through. What I learned, why I decided to do one thing versus the other, the experiences I had. I could shortcut it. It wouldn't take me 12 years now, right? It would take me like 3, I think, to get to the point where I'm at now. But if you don't start today, then that's 3 years from whenever you decide to start. So if you're dragging ass now and not doing enough, get out a piece of paper, your journal, a scribbler, I don't care, go to the dollar store and buy something to write on, a legal pad, but start thinking about these numbers I'm talking about. How many people you need to talk to? If you're not closing, start watching YouTube videos on sales, right? Start watching these people that are experts at this and how to close these things, because that's what it takes you to get good at this. And if you're not good at what you're trying to sell, then you got to find people to do it for, right? You got to find people to practice on. You got to find people to hone and master your skills. Otherwise, it's just going to be a struggle, and it could end up, you could find yourself in the place where your assumption starts to become that it's everybody else's fault. All the clients are bad. All the clients are crappy at follow-up. None of the clients get it, right? When in reality, we have to meet the clients where they're at, because it's their money. They're the ones paying us, right? And we have to be willing to meet them where they're at. There are bad clients, right? There are people that you would get into a relationship with, that you're selling your services to, that you need to leave the relationship. And it's a whole nother discussion. It's not easy to do. But I'm telling you, these 3 things, it's one of those 3 or a combination of those 3 that's stopping you from being better at what it is you want to do if you're trying to run an agency, be a freelancer or a contractor, okay? So I got a ton of more stuff planned in this realm. A lot of my channel talks about YouTube ads, but this particular series of videos, I feel compelled lately to want to help other people figure out how to be better at what they're doing in their agency, right? Because everybody's teaching you how to use tools. Everybody's teaching you how to do Facebook ads or tricks for retargeting or whatever. It doesn't take tricks. It just takes hard work, relationship building, and understanding the basic fundamentals of selling, prospecting, and activity, the right activity. And I mean doing activity daily, right? All right, thanks for watching. My name's Ian again. Hit the button below to subscribe so you can get all my other videos that I keep putting out. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great day.